Okay.
Judy, I see,
Oh,
right? Hi,
Hi,
how's Dallas, by
Hi.
the way?
who's in Dallas? I'm in Dallas.
who's
Yeah,
in Dallas?
Judy,
Judy Roser Smith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're-
I heard someone else say they were from Texas. Who was it?
Jane Williams, okay.
We have another Texan here?
No, but I'm from Hoopston.
A corn chipper, no less.
That's even better, Joe.
Oh,
Hmm. Who is that? I don't know. It's somebody, it's, oh, Sharon. Oh, Sharon.
No?
Sharon's in there. My sister-in-law wanted to see how we did this.
Uh-huh.
You think we should let her in?
I don't know. I see her ceiling is in there, but I don't
Right,
see her.
right.
Where is she? Oh, yeah,
There we
She's
go.
next
No,
to
this
Nancy.
is her. This
My
is her right here.
Oh,
We see a ceiling and the top of a painting.
I mean, Joanne.
nice ceiling.
This is- Oh, Jan, hi.
Oh, wow.
I have to look at everybody's name. Sorry about that.
Well, we had to do that 30 years ago, too.
Yeah,
Yep.
Lou Walton, I didn't think you were still alive.
who's that?
I didn't think you were still alive. I
Who,
haven't. had a
me?
Christmas-
Ah,
Yes, I haven't had a Christmas card.
I don't
that's
know.
true. You have not. Neither has anyone else from me, unfortunately. Okay.
I want you to know the Hamiltons went to hear the four freshmen. last
Oh.
Friday.
Way to go.
The four freshmen.
Uh,
Cool.
Are they still alive, the four freshmen?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
about
the
the
same
original,
person.
the 80th
The
iteration.
same ones.
They were started in 1948 in Indianapolis,
Oh, really?
and they
Yeah.
have yearly reunions. And the next one, the one this year, is going to be in Fort Wayne, Indiana in September.
Oh.
Oh,
Really?
Oh.
And
they
the
went
place
to
was sold
like it.
out. It was all white-haired people there.
Yeah.
They went to
Surprise,
Butler.
surprise.
I
There were a
sure-
bunch that had no hair at all.
Hey, Mary Naylor.
Hey, how are you?
Hey,
Who
good
we got
to see
here?
you, Mary.
Ah,
I don't know who I'm talking to because I can't see very well. But hi.
Well, maybe
Mary
that's a
Dolan.
blessing, huh?
hey,
Oh,
we got more
Mary.
people coming. That's great. That is great.
Jesus Christ,
All right.
probably better if we had name tags on.
Well, we
Yeah.
kind of do.
We have to hang them on our forehead.
Oh, I see that we've got Harold's name on instead of me. I'm
By the
Janet
time we
Hawthorne.
By the time we come to the next time we do this, I'll bet they will invent it so that we can put the name at the bottom of the screen. Don't you imagine?
Yes.
Everything gets
Mhm.
better and better
Oh,
electronically.
Joe Beals.
It's done.
Well, that's because I'm on Harold's computer, so that.
Frank Walker. Where are you
Frank
in
Walker.
Naples?
We're at our son's wife's condo for a few days.
Oh,
Traveled down visiting friends along the
Naples.
way, left Indiana. Oh, I don't know, about 8 or 9 days ago, and saw people in 5 different cities and
Oh, great.
doing fine.
Good, good, good.
You look great.
Yeah.
You do.
So we've got 1, 2, 3 Hoosiers on here. They're watching IU. Who else do we have?
Don's a Hoosier.
By the way,
You just don't live there.
Trace Jackson Davis, who is IU's big player, is from Greenwood. where
Oh,
I
we know
live.
him.
No, he lives on the other side of the county. But yeah, he's from Greenwood. We don't get much mention, do we,
Which
Frank?
one is
Walker?
He's with, I'll show you, I don't know who this is.
Trace Walker.
I think that's David Nermitz.
He plays for IU and we know that because we watched him play
Well,
University of
a Zoom
Illinois a
meeting
couple
of-
times.
He's cute.
DePaul, my DePaul class of 1957.
You say what? Where are we?
David Burnett. I haven't seen you since we graduated.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, and I mention you
That's Nancy,
frequently,
please.
actually. I'll
That's
tell you
Nancy
later.
Ford right here.
Oh, yes.
Well,
Zaida,
I
don't know
I
where
was
you are. I
David.
don't
David
see.
was responsible for Gretchen and me getting together and writing, and we probably wouldn't have
Oh,
had the collaboration that we've had if it weren't for David Murnitz.
oh,
Yay for Dave.
That's
I
wonderful.
think he
Yeah.
wanted a date with Gretchen, but he was too shy to ask her for a date, so he asked her to write a musical with him.
Interesting.
I wonder who's just listening to us and not coming in.
Oh,
I
man,
can't-
I think we've got a good group here, guys.
Well, we do. I don't
Well,
know what
you-
happened
I
to
was- I
Zaida.
can't
It's-
See.
She's gonna tell us how to work this.
Okay,
This thing
Zaida?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
have
do you
so
wanna-
many people on this Zoom call. Thank you all for joining in, that we have 2 screens.
Oh,
So,
Great.
um,
oh,
Well, what happened?
Well, oh,
Okay. Okay.
lost.
Joe,
And-
Joe, would you stop sharing your screen, please?
Uh-huh.
What?
Well, you couldn't
Um,
launch it again.
Is
I-
the
There we
passcode
go.
same as?
There we go.
There. Now we're back.
There we go.
Okay.
Here,
So
just-
we actually have 2 screens of
two
people.
screens.
So
amazing.
if you look towards the middle on each side, you'll see like 2 carrots.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so you.
What are
can
we
click
looking
on
for,
it.
Zaida?
Yeah.
What are we looking for?
It'll towards the middle on the sides, you'll see one of 2
Yeah.
with like a little carrot.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If you click on it, it'll take you to the other screen.
Okay.
No, I'm not seeing that. Sorry.
Okay,
It's a little arrow.
Stay on the screen.
I don't see any arrows, do you?
Yeah, a little arrow on each side.
Two of them. Who else is
I don't see any arrows.
okay.
connected?
Sorry.
Right in the middle, on the edge.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay, if you punch that little arrow, then you see different.
Then you get a whole new.
An arrow.
Mhm.
You see an arrow? I'm not getting one.
Okay,
Screen.
so we do have, Joe, we do have 2 people on the phone.
Who's on the phone?
So, I have a 612-291-00141.
That's Roger Rowan from Sarasota, Florida.
All
Ah,
right.
Oh, great.
Roger.
Roger Rowan.
And then I have 1-833-265-75494.
This gal's at the paw, so she's running this.
No. Now that's Loretta, that's me.
Okay, so you're also on the screen, or?
But I can't get the video. I
You know,
don't
those
know.
2 people.
Okay.
You gotta go and look at the names here.
Don't.
Okay, so that takes care of our folks that are on the phone, Joe. And so I wanted to go over really quickly. For those of you on a computer, at the bottom left, you will see mute, so you can click on it. Please click on mute if you are talking, like if there's a couple on the screen and you're talking amongst yourselves. You can mute and unmute yourselves there. For those that, again, on a computer, and the bottom next to the mute is the stop video.
That
So
was-
if you
that's
click
Dave
on
Murray.
that,
He was,
I just turn my video off. If I click on it again, I turn my video on. Okay,
uh-huh.
if you go a little further on to the right before the
There's the
green share screen, you'll see chat. If you click on it, you can type messages to anybody or to the whole group. Okay?
Oh,
If you are on an iPad, you will see these same features in the upper right. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so, does everybody see everybody else on the screen? Like Brady Bunch style?
You know,
Everybody on the screen? Okay.
I don't.
I'm on my iPhone.
Jean,
and
hi.
I don't have a picture.
How many people should we be seeing? I know that 25 of us could be on the screen at once. How many people are here?
33.
Okay, so most of the same people are on the second screen, but a
Yes.
few extra.
Okay, Zaida, we can't get to the second screen. We don't have any arrows.
Okay, I'll help you with that, Lou, as
Okay.
we go
Oh,
around,
there's Jean.
Okay.
Good.
okay? Okay,
I'm not seeing
Well, I
anything.
still don't have a picture and I'm on my iPhone.
okay. I don't think that works on an iPhone
Yeah.
because it's too small.
Oh. Okay, so I can talk to you.
Yes, we can hear you just fine. Thank you.
All right.
So, I think that takes care of the quick little Zoom lesson. So now I will hand it over to Lou.
Thank you, Zaida.
Yeah, and thank you, Zaida, in our alumni office for putting this whole thing together. It would not have been possible. Joe had this brainstorm that we could do this, and Zaida just took it and ran with it. And we are very grateful, very grateful. And I'm just thrilled to see so many people and hear so many people. Yeah, I think a lot of us have already introduced ourselves, but I guess I would say we go around the room, but I think everybody's screen's a little different. So I'll just start with Dwight and me. We live in Arlington Heights, Illinois, and who else wants to just throw that out?
Here, I'll just pick somebody. So on my screen, I have Gail in the upper left.
Okay.
Gail Divine Sims. You may remember me as the singer with Nancy. I think we all took our careers in a different direction, but I'm still singing, believe it or not, Nancy. I still sing every Sunday morning, but I also sing in a lot of political circles. I'm asked to sing the national anthem, God Bless America, whatever you name it.
Oh,
I do
nice.
it. So anyway, you may remember me, you may not, because I didn't graduate with you all because I'd gone to New York to continue my musical education there.
Really?
Oh, that's great, though. We're glad you could join us.
Yeah.
I see all of you.
Next, I see Joe. Joe?
I don't see my picture.
Yes, does.
Me?
Yes, Joe.
Yeah. Well, I'm Joe Petrie Hirschberger.
Yay.
And
Our
and
hero.
I live in Middleton, Wisconsin. Dick and I moved here about 7 years ago. So
Next, I have Sandy.
Hi, I'm Sandy Louie Burrows. This is Barney. My husband is 67 years now.
Let's see them.
I am also a singer, although I didn't do much at DePauw, but I did spend 14 years with Robert Shaw in Atlanta with the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra Chorus. And I'm now a 30-year member of the Michael O'Neill Singers. In fact, we're doing a fantastic Irish concert next Friday, the 17th, with dancers and Irish instruments and lots of fun. And if you're interested, it will be live streamed. It will cost you $20. And if you want, I will give you my email and I'll send you instructions on how to get on it.
Sandy, I have
That would be great.
Sorry?
a message for you. It's Jan. I have a message for you. I tried to reach you. Pat Ham died. And I don't,
Oh, thank
I
you.
don't, well, I didn't have any way to get in touch with you. I've tried. But
Okay.
if I can get your email somehow, I got a copy of her. but-
Let me
Okay,
just tell
fine.
you, it's Teddy Gran at att.net.
You know what? I think,
Send it to Lou and Lou can send it to me.
yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
we'll
Lou?
figure that out.
Next on my screen, I have Nancy Ford Charles.
Wait, you missed Barney.
Oh, sorry.
All I'm going to say is our loyalties have shifted. We're in Atlanta, Georgia, And therefore, the acronym here of record is Go Dogs. So I want you to know that national championship done twice was worth all of our investment in the 3 children we put through Athens, Georgia. So those children have been productive, and we can brag of having great grandchildren. So we're right in there with multi-generational.
Okay, Nancy,
Hey,
for
Jennifer.
Charles?
Hi, yeah, I'm in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And I think you're going to hear more about that later when Joe
Yeah.
talks to me. So I'll just wait for that.
Ford.
Okay.
Nancy.
Thank
So
you,
good to
Nancy.
see everybody.
Nancy Ford, remember she sang with Gretchen?
Sure.
Okay, and next on my screen, I have Jan. That's listed on here as Harold.
You talking to me?
Jan?
Yeah,
David
No, Jan Loud?
Yes.
Oh, I was just ready. Well, except it says Harold because it's
Yeah.
a computer.
Those folks are old.
You're not Harold.
No, I'm not Harold. He's in the other room. But it should be, for some of you, it should be Hofmark probably rather than Loud because I did get married my senior year.
Give me a glass. Give me a glass.
So I live in Greenwood, Indiana, which is south of Indianapolis. And we live in a continuous care, you know, a CCRC. We moved here we moved here in time for the COVID. Our sons thought that they would like for us to be someplace more satisfying, and it was wonderful because 2 months after we moved in, well, 2 months, well, we did 2 months after we moved in, they had to do everything for us because we couldn't see them. There are about 400 houses in here.
Again?
Okay, so Jan, you're a big IU fan, I take it.
Well, yeah, I spent enough money down there.
Yeah.
Both of the boys went down there.
Yeah, okay.
But I'll tell you
Well,
what.
so did mine, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I had 2 down
You know
there.
what? If we'd write once in a while, Lou, we might find out.
Okay.
But I've got to tell you this, our youngest grandson is now a freshman at Wabash.
Oh. Okay.
That big guy sitting next to you ever going to say anything, or is he just gonna?
No, he doesn't say anything.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, I
Thank you,
think we, both Lou and I are kind of surprised that there are this many people that
Yeah.
have clicked into the Zoom. And here we are broadcasting from high above East College. So
You wouldn't be able to
it's good to
understand
see all the smiling faces, and it does give credence to what I mentioned earlier, that this is the best damn class that John Wethick ever built.
Why didn't you come across Saturday and see me?
Next on my
Who's
screen,
next?
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Next on my screen is Peg.
Oh, I live in St. Louis. I'm in a retirement community. And I don't know, there's nothing much more to say. I have 3 children, which I'm very proud of, okay? But they don't live in St. Louis, unfortunately.
Thank you. Next on my screen is Dan Peternell. Dan, you need to unmute. Dan Peternell.
Well. He's talking, but he.
We'll come back to Dan. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now we can.
Oh, there we are.
Ann and I have been married for 65 years, and we live in Wallace. And I have been married for 65 years, and we live on an island in South Carolina.
Oh.
Our very famous state that has been on television the last couple of weeks. Nancy Ford, I want to ask you a question. Is Gretchen still alive?
Yes, I don't know why she's not here today, except she teaches a lot. And
Do you remember, I can't remember how many years ago that Ann and I came to a party and we were asked to be an angel for the show you had off Broadway?
oh my goodness, that would be a long time ago, 1966 or 7.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You were asking the wrong people. We didn't have any money then.
Oh, all you needed was, you could have been an angel for $200 in those days. I'm really surprised. Well, thank you for coming to the party anyway, or whatever it was.
Well, it's really nice to see all of you. And thanks
Yeah.
for including me.
Oh,
Okay, next on my screen is Gail.
Yes, I'm here, but Gail Ward, I'm here, but I can't talk. I don't see my picture and I don't know what happened to it. It was up there at one time.
Jill, there's Sharon.
I'm having trouble following who is speaking. Is
Oh, we're
there is there a highlight of a picture going on?
Okay, so whoever's talking will have a yellow border around their photo.
Mine's green.
Okay, so look.
Or
look-
green, green.
Yeah,
My screen is green.
okay.
And I had a screen earlier, Gail Loomis, and I had a screen, a picture there, but it's gone, and I can't talk to Lori and the Hamiltons, and wanted to say hi to Lori.
Hello,
Hi, Gail Loomis, Lori.
where's Gail?
Sounds like a bunch of old people.
Looking
You bet.
And next on my screen is Betsy and Jim
Complaining
Kelly.
about how it's done.
I hope you can hear us. I don't know.
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you.
We're delighted to be on with the group.
Absolutely.
We live still in our house in Darien, Connecticut, and became great grandparents in January of last year. And we're pretty excited about that. And we're still upright. That's also pretty much fun. Good to see you all.
Thank you, Betsy and Jim.
all look
Next on my screen is Lori and Don Hamilton.
Hello from the Hamiltons. We have we live in Southern Pines, North Carolina, and our 3 sons went to DePaul, and 2 of the wives went to DePaul. So we are definitely a DePaul family and all.
I'd like to say one thing, that's maybe a little different than most of you. I am the very first person in the Hamilton family to be good enough to go to DePaul University. What a gift
They've given a lot of money to DePaul.
to our family. And I want to tell you something, folks. I don't know if you can see this, but this is our license plate. Everybody that goes around us knows where the hell we went.
I need to leave. Go to the doctor's office.
And I would say to you that the best part of that is marrying this young lady right here, Delta Gamma.
Right, yeah.
I had to walk about 10 miles because I was a Phi Psi, but by God, I did it every time because I wanted to love this world here. So this has been a wonderful, wonderful life for us and all the people. When I tell them I'm at DePaul, they always say, "Where's that?" And I said, if you need to know that, then you don't need to know it. Anyway, thank
I have
God.
a question. What happened to Frank Walker? I mean, he's not on my screen anymore.
He could be on the other screen, and we'll get to him, okay?
Oh, okay.
Is that gal from the
So next on my screen, I have Lil Fisher.
Yes.
alumni office?
I'm Neil Fisher, and this is my wife, Lil Fisher, Lila Lee Fisher. We've been married 12 years. I married Isla Alexander as soon as we
Yes.
graduated. And we were married for 50 years, parted by her death in 2008. So Lil and I, Lil lost her
Yeah, we're
husband
gonna have to,
time.
gonna have to go.
And we're now living in Middlebury, Vermont, very happily in Middlebury.
That's a nice town.
Well, we're happy for you, Neil. That's great.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Good to see you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
on
Good
the
to see
next
you
on
all.
my screen is James Van Horn.
I
Oh
don't know.
my, now, we're not seeing that.
You don't know any of those people?
Well, I knew some of them.
Well, I'm Jim Van Horn, as indicated.
Yeah.
We live in Palo Alto, California, and been in our present house for 55 years. I'm still involved at Stanford University. I occasionally teach in the
Jim
areas
Van
of
Horn, he
corporate
was
restructuring and monetary economics, which most people don't care very much about today, but nonetheless, there's an active group of financial economists at Stanford. And we have a
Everybody should
lively
mute this.
interchanges. So we have 3 sons, 3 daughter-in-laws. They live within a dozen miles of us, so we're quite fortunate, and 7 grandchildren. So I'll sign off
Okay,
with that.
that's great.
Next
We're too
on my
old, we're
screen-
too old to learn what that thing is that you teach, Jim, but I'm glad it's good. I'm sure it's a
Would
good
bore you to
course.
death.
Next on my screen is Jody.
Hi, I'm Jody Brune, Jody
Yay.
Klein Brune. In San Diego, down the other end of the state from Jim. And been here 55 years already and loving it. Lost John 3 years ago. We had a wonderful 62-year marriage, so happy to see you all.
Thank you, Jody. Next, I have 612-910-0141.
Yeah, that's me from Sarasota, Roger Rowan. And I just want to say DePaul was the foundation of a wonderful life for me, because I worked for one company, 3M company, all my life, and I retired in year 2000. I actually have traveled to all 50 states and 33 countries outside the U.S. So it's been a marvelous, exciting career. I married Marilyn Phelps, who was an Alpha Phi, and we've been married for 65 years. And we've got 2 children. And actually, my son is already retired, so he beat me to it in age and so forth. But basically, the foundation of everything that I have enjoyed all of my almost 88 years now is based on DePaul University and all the wonderful friends that I accumulated back in those days. Sorry I couldn't be with you visually, but my daughter is a computer expert and she won't teach me because I depend on her for that. So she contributes to my education. So anyway, nice to talk to all of you. And I just want to let you know that I'm glad to be in Florida in the wintertime, but we do go back to Minnesota in the summertime. So we're snowbirds for the last 20 some years.
Well, I'm glad you could join us, Roger.
Pardon me?
I'm glad you could join us.
Yes.
Well, I am too. And I just want to say, God bless every one of you, and may he be your guiding light for the rest of your lives. I'm looking forward to meeting him personally, but it's going to be on his timing. So, and so peace to all of you. Glad I could join you on the telephone.
Okay.
Thank you, Roger. Next on my screen is David Mernitz. Sorry.
Where is he?
Where's David?
His box just has his name and it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. We'll just move on. Next, I have Bill's iPad.
Bill's iPad.
That's Mary.
Oh,
Mary.
hi. I'm Mary Naylor. I'm a class of 57 and a half. Because I started as a freshman in DePaul in January '54. And I married Bill Naylor, and our 5 children mostly all went to North Carolina, Chapel Hill State and so forth. So they took one look at DePaul and they said, no, there's nothing. And I live in Sun City Center, Florida. Bill passed away a couple years ago, but I think he's here listening today.
Oh.
It's good seeing everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Next on my screen is Joseph Beals.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes,
Who is this?
Joseph Beals.
I was the class of 57. I was here at my 50th with Bob Schreier, who has since passed on. You probably all remember him. He was a good friend and a fellow fraternity member at Sigma Nu. I retired 2 years ago after over 50 years in the practice of medicine. So I'm keeping busy and hope to live another 50 years.
Not me.
Next on my screen is Jane Williams.
Hello, everyone. I was the class of 54, but I left and married Jerry Williams, class of the 54. And unfortunately, Jerry died just about a year ago. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I'm just glad to be here. And I say hello to Mary and to Joe Hirschberger and to Gail Sims. We were all sorority sisters at DePaul. And hello to everybody else, Lou and Dwight. And I saw Sharon Sealing too, Lou and Dwight.
Yeah. I think we've got her coffee cup now. Is it?
Hi, Sharon, you've got to put your camera on you. So on to the next.
Next, I have Jay Smith. And I just asked you to unmute yourself. So you should just say yes. There you go. No, you're still muted.
Hello.
Hi, Dave.
Hello.
Oh.
I'm Dave Mernitz. I live in Sahuarita, Arizona, down where it's warm.
Yeah.
I retired from the practice of law a few years ago and have been since active in political activities. My wife is in assisted living, and I visit her every day.
Next on my screen is Dale Bracy.
Okay, all right. I want to first say I perked up when I heard Jim Van Horn say he was in Palo Alto. I'm just 30 minutes from, or 20, 30 minutes from there in Los Gatos. Well, that's both Northern California outside of San Jose. I look forward to this event. I don't know, but about 6 of you by name. Of course, facial features and all, they change so much. We can barely recognize one another. But my memories of DePaul, by necessity of this, have been with my wife, who I married out of DePaul.
Yeah, married to my wife with an Alpha Phi.
Alpha Chi Omega. And we had 56 years of marriage, wonderful, but she suffered a lot from lupus during her lifetime. But after she died 10 years ago, I connected with another Alpha Chi, one that was the maid of honor at our wedding. So we've been married a year now.
Dale, who was that?
That's Marilyn Meyer,
Okay.
her maiden. So for the past year and a half, we've been bi-coastals, living half the year in McLean, Virginia, just outside of DC, and the other half on the West Coast in Los Gatos. It's been a wonderful kind of familiar narrative, moving around and seeing friends and family in both coasts. But it's very, very time consuming and great labor, making all kinds of reservations and moving around back and forth, trying to keep taxes straight. But no complaints, really.
Thank you, Dale. I'm gonna go back to Jay Smith.
Jay Smith is Judy Smith, and sorry about the mute, but my dog was barking, so
Oh.
it had to shut me off. And it's wonderful to see some sorority sisters, Nancy, Peg, and Mary. And I thought I heard Footsie's name. We've gotten together several times since graduation. Yay! And last time was in Colorado, up in the gorgeous mountains. I have 3 kids, and unfortunately, none of them were the least bit interested in DePaul. I can't imagine why, but they went to Wellesley, Harvard, and Yale, so that's okay. Can't beat that. And this is wonderful. I appreciate, I guess, Joe and Peg particularly for putting it together. I live in Dallas, Texas, and it's gorgeous, beautiful spring here. Come see the daffodils.
Thank you,
Great.
Judy. So next on my screen is Mary Wright.
Hello.
And I'm not.
I spent 50 years in Rochester, outside of Rochester, New York, and have enjoyed working with piano students for many years. And this year moved to Framingham, Massachusetts to be closer to my daughter. And that is working out well as it can be. It is definitely working out well. It's great to see you all.
Great,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Mary.
Next, I have Sharon Ubben. We'll get back to Sharon. I saw part of her. There you go. Sharon, you want to look towards where you were waving? There you go. Now unmute yourself. You should get a pop-up. There you go.
Okay, we're still just seeing your ceiling, Sharon.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
there you are.
There she
you go.
is.
I don't want to be seen. I'm just enjoying this.
Whoops.
And charge. Later.
Okay.
Nice to see you all.
Sharon is spying on us. She's running the class of 58 reunion this fall. So she's just, checking up on us.
Yeah.
So next I have 832-265-75494.
I'm Loretta Lewis Badot, and
Oh,
live-
good. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I live in Richmond, Texas, outside of Houston. I've been here about 18 years, and I really do like it here. I have 3 children, and one of them has moved down here. She's an endodontist and went to Tufts University, and the others are back east, and one of them owns a restaurant in Scarsdale, New York. He went to Ithaca College, and my oldest went to IU. So, yeah. And I have been at a lot of the Pi Phi reunions with Judy and Peg and the gang, and have enjoyed every one of them. And thank you for including me and keeping me in touch.
Well, we're glad to hear from you, Loretta.
Yeah, I wish I could see you all, but I'm on my iPhone, so I can't get the video.
Thank you.
Next I have Mary Holtzel.
Hi, am I?
Mary, I'm so glad to see you.
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
Mary Ball, how are you?
Well, I see Jan and, oh goodness, Jean, Lou. Who else do we have here?
Yeah. Jean,
Alpha-
yeah. Jean.
Speaking of Alpha Chi's, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm in Florida.
just for 3 months. I live in Stockbridge in the Berkshires.
Mhm.
And we've had enjoyed having Berkshire's reunion for a number of years, where some of you came to the Berkshires, which was wonderful. And the Stackhouses were a center for that. Over the years, I've been blessed in my life, my children, my family, my husband who went to Princeton. He was another Tiger. He was from my high school class.
Charlie Ballinger, I thought he died.
But he died in 2014. And now I have a partner, Charlie Parker from the Cornell, same class, 57. So, yeah. So he's sharing the Florida experience with me. 2 children.
Can the other people see that I'm?
Go ahead, Mary.
Oh, I had 2 children. My darling daughter Gretchen died in December, very suddenly. It was a heart brain thing. We still don't have all the reports, the autopsy, so we don't know exactly what happened, but we're having a celebration of her life on the Cape in April next month. She and her husband had a restaurant on the Cape in Harwichport called L'Alouette for years. And then they sold that. And then they, just before COVID, they moved to the Berkshires where Alan took a job at Blantyre, which is a Gilded Age resort in Lenox. Then that closed. And now he's at Wheatley, which is another Gilded Age thing near Tanglewood in the Berkshires. So he and I have been, he's coming down to Florida for a visit next week, which will be wonderful. My son Lloyd is coming also with his wife and my one grandchild, Sylvie, who's 19. They live in Secaucus, New Jersey, where he is a psychiatric nurse. So I've been busy over the years. Oh, I just.
Whoops.
Okay.
We lost
We
Mary.
lost her. We lost Mary. So I am backtracking and I see that Jean Stackhouse has joined us.
Yes. Yes, I'm Jean Hostetler Stackhouse.
Yes.
I spent most of my life in music doing teaching at the New England Conservatory in Boston.
Oh, boy.
Working as a collaborative pianist. I lost my beloved Max Stackhouse in January of 2016 from both Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. I have the opportunity every week now to have a nice Zoom with Nancy and Mary Rife and Roseanne Jacks, whom I don't see here today.
No, I didn't hear.
We have kept in touch, and that's just been lovely. We had 3 children, and we lived in Boston, but we lived in Princeton for a period of time, where Max taught at Princeton Theological School. Also that lived in the Berkshires here in Massachusetts, and I'm now in Boston, retired, and very near one of 3 children.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Jane.
Next
I remember
see-
second out on a couch in your house in the Berkshires.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful
That was a nice
times.
reunion, wasn't it? Yes.
Yes, it was. It was great.
Great reunion.
Next, I have Michael McLean.
Excuse me. Hello, everyone. Excuse me. I was just at DePaul for my senior year. I graduated in '57, but it was really a very special year. And I came back for the 50th reunion, had a lovely time. I recognize lots of names. Of course, I want to say hello to Peg and Nancy and those that I got to know while I was there. I live outside of Basalt, Colorado, which is about 20 miles from Aspen up the Frying Pan Valley, fly fishing. And we've been here since retirement. I taught at Rhodes College, which is very similar to DePaul, and have a great affection, not just for DePaul, but for the liberal arts type of education. So it's lovely to see you all. We have one son, Colin, who lives in Northwest Connecticut, pretty close to Kent. And my oldest granddaughter, Marison, is at Hotchkiss. She's a junior. And if she's interested in DePaul, I'll see you all on campus.
Oh. Hi, I suddenly lost you, but I just wanted to say I grew up in Scarsdale. Whose child has a restaurant there?
Yes,
Loretta.
yes, he does.
Tootsie Lewis, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So he does have a restaurant there, and it is really Zagat rated, and he does very, very well, even with COVID. So I am very proud of all of them. They've all done well. And my daughter moved down here to Houston about 2 years ago, and it's great to have one of them here.
Yes. I'm in Bradenton, Gail, to answer that question.
Thank you.
I'm just
I
off,
was down there.
I'm just
I
off
got-
Anna Maria Island.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I was down there. My son played football for Ithaca College, and they had their championship game down there.
Oh, great.
Next on my
Yeah.
screen is Frank Walker.
Hi, everybody. I'm
Hi,
Frank.
Oh, you have here.
Jane and I are in our second marriage, 43 years. It's really turned out to be a great blessing and a nice merged family. We have we're blessed that 7 of our 8 grandchildren live in Indianapolis, as do 3 of our 4 children.
Wow.
A couple years ago into Hoosier Village retirement community. We're in a separate home. It's a beautiful place, independent living. We always told our kids, we'll tell you when we're moving into a retirement community instead of you telling us. We're both pretty active in the community still. The company that my mother started in 1939 is growing and very successful, and kind of makes you feel old when they announced recently that grandson Jack will replace son Steve as the CEO in the next 5 years. Special. We're going to be great grandparents in June. We're active in the community. Jane is very interested in historic preservation. And we have several things going on in the church. And then for the last 3 years, I've been involved in trying to start a business ethics center at Marian University. It's I'm not Catholic, but it's a Catholic institution in Indianapolis. It was not successful, but we did a lot of successful things, and I still have things going on in that area. And that's enough.
Thanks, Frank. That's great.
You know, it's
Next
nice
up-
that somebody has.
Next on my screen is Charles Allinger.
Bollinger.
Allinger, sorry.
After leaving, I should say, on the picture that I see, my name is Ballinger, starting with a B, but the
Yeah.
B doesn't show up there.
Right.
And so I'll have to work on that after we're off the screen. After leaving DePaul, I went to the Ohio State University and got my doctorate and found my way to San Diego. I've been in San Diego 52 years, and I see Jody Brune on the screen, and I think I've seen Jody twice in those 50 plus years, person to person, face to face, twice. And I think Jody would join me in saying, I hope the alumni office can get one of the performing groups, one of the choirs or something, to come out to San Diego someday. When I say I graduated from DePaul, they all think of DePaul in Chicago rather than PAUW in Indiana. Joe Petrie, Hirschberg, I see is on the screen. And Joe will remember that I wrote some articles for the student newspaper because I had attended the Republican National Convention in San Francisco in 1956. That was my first trip to California. I fell in love with California, and I'm glad I'm here, even
Yeah.
though I call myself a Buckeye. Just as a side note, and this will probably raise the temperature for some of, I was president of the local Young Republicans Club at DePaul. I still am a registered Republican, but I haven't voted for a Republican for a long, long. So to paraphrase Ronald Reagan, I haven't left the Republican Party. The Republican Party has left me.
That's true.
Right. So next on my screen, I have Dorothy Drake.
Oh, Dottie Drake.
Dottie, yeah, where are you, Dottie?
Where is Dottie?
You can't see her photo, but she must be on your next screen. Dorothy Drake is muted. So I'm
She's at the
asking her-
library. I think.
Yes.
There she-
Okay. And then I have,
In here.
I think that's everybody. Have I missed anybody? People are moving around on my screen, so I apologize if I had forgotten you, missed you.
You didn't get Luann Hart Williams?
Just talk. Hello, can anybody hear me now?
Yes, Roger.
Hey, it's Roger Finley. I want to say special hello to Lou and Dwight. I see
Yes,
there.
hi, Roger.
And
are you, Roger?
I'm sorry I can't join video. It just
he's
broke
not
down
on.
somehow.
Okay, sorry.
Nancy, I don't see Nancy on anymore, and Jim Van Horn out up the pike in San Francisco. I'm down in Santa Monica. And so I taught 25 years at University of Illinois Law School and 20 more years at Loyola Law School in Los Angeles, environmental protection law mainly. And I have books in both environmental law and property law that are used in law schools around the country. And I was lucky enough to get in the environmental field early and pick up on international environmental law. So I was lucky to get invitations to teach around the world. And I have taught at most of the major universities in Europe and Ireland, and taught at University of Sao Paulo in Brazil and Beijing University in China. So it's been a great life. I lost my wife of 50 years 9 years ago. I have a wonderful, loving partner now since 8 years ago. And I'm attended by at the moment, by my technology knowledgeable son, Steve, who's got me at least into voicemail. So I wanted to say hello to all of you. I mean, I recognize Peggy Steffen and Ballinger and, pretty much everybody there I can see on the video. I wish you well. Jane Williams, you just sat up straight and I saw you there. Yeah. And Jerry, was my fraternity brother, Adele.
Jerry Williams.
Right.
And of course, that last was Tim Ubben. And so I feel like, I know many of you, Frank and Dale Bracy, I remember them.
Gretchen, did you not get
So-
the message about the DePaul reunion?
Thanks.
Don Hamilton.
God.
Yeah. Okay,
Zaida?
well, I'll be quiet for a while. Thanks.
Roger, it's great to hear from you.
Yeah.
I'm in Santa Monica, by the way. I guess I said that.
Okay.
I look out one way, I see the Santa Monica Mountains, and another way I see the Pacific Ocean, which is about 300 yards from where I sit. So
Oh, nice.
That's good. Zaida,
we didn't get Luann Hart and her daughter Lynn Klusky. They're here.
Okay, let me. Hey, Lynn.
Yes, it's Lynn.
Hi. Hi, I'm a DePaul graduate of 1982. Proudly.
Oh.
Mom, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. This is so neat to be able to see all you all and hear all you all. That's the most important thing. And I am in a retirement community, small, but efficient. And I lost my dear darling John 8 years ago.
15 years ago, yeah. In 2008. Yeah.
Thanks, Lynn.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lynn. Anybody else, Joe?
I think that's it. I just want to add, Luann and I talk on the phone quite a bit, and she amazes me. She is always upbeat. She always leaves me feeling good. Thank you, Luann. Yeah, she always was. Mhm.
I do have a comment. This is Barney. I have to tattletale. I saw Sandy whip out the 57 alumni and was checking on you guys and looking up everybody as you were talking. So you have a spy among you. I just wanted to let you know. I do have one comment. I think I'm unique amongst what I see on the screen. I still work. I still go on top of rooftops and fall in and out of air handlers.
Oh
And
my gosh.
And I wanted to let you know that I was one of the unique people. I worked all the way through COVID because I was the guy that was basically checking facilities and helping them be COVID compliant and keep operating in the critical industries. So I've been very, very busy working while some of you had some retirement time. So I hope Joan will join you sometime.
Zaida, can we still have another few minutes?
Yes.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Because I'd like for us to hear about Nancy's change.
Okay.
Yes,
The floor is yours.
Joe's going to formally introduce Nancy Ford Charles and talk to her about her move.
Well, hi, Nancy. Back again. It's so good to see you. And I just want to remind you that the first time that we crossed paths was in Dr. Pence's freshman English class. And I know there may have been a few others here who underwent that ordeal, but privilege. And
Privilege, definitely.
and we live to tell about it. And so here we are
Too
again.
good, Joe, too good not to be better.
Oh,
Do you remember
yeah,
that
right.
phrase that he
Yes.
would put
Oh,
on
yeah.
her?
Yes.
This is too good not to be better.
Yes. And I lead a writing class here at Middleton Glen where I live. And I used that very phrase not long ago with a fellow who just wouldn't shut up. He thought his essay was so good. And I told him it needed to be revised because it was too good not to be better. Dr. Pence is still out there. But you, we've all undergone change, and I think, you know, many of us have moved into facilities, but you left the bright lights of New York City and came back to your hometown of Kalamazoo. And I am just curious about how that all developed, and when did you move, and when did you first think about moving?
And why would anybody ever do that, right?
It kind of, yeah.
For a long time, I wanted to do that. Years ago, when my husband and I would visit my mother at a retirement community here in Kalamazoo, that was called the Fountains. We would say, well, should we put our names on the list for 20 years from now? And we just always thought that we wanted to do that because we liked seeing what went on there, and the people had active lives and they had protection. I think if I had had children, I probably would not have made the move as soon as I did, but I don't want to burden my nephews and nieces with taking care of me. So I just always thought I would do this. And I can only say that when I came here, it just felt like that was what I was supposed to do in life, that was, and I thought of it at the time as kind of like going away to college. It was a big change, but I thought it was a kind of an adventure. And in many ways it has been, because I came here just about 6 months before COVID. And so things didn't happen here exactly the way that I had thought they would. We had to be isolated in our rooms a lot of the time because of COVID, and I couldn't take part in any of the civic activities that I thought I would like to do, but that's pretty much over now. But I still found plenty of things to do here. When my husband passed away, my second husband, some of you may remember, I married Bob Curry, and we were married for about 5 years and then divorced. And a few days later, I met Keith Charles when we were in the Fantastics together, and we were married for 44 years before he died. So I really felt that I was on my own. And so I came here where I could be taken care of. And probably I came a little early, but I'm not sorry, because I've found it to be fun and stimulating. And I think I'm a lot more active here than I would have been if I had stayed in New York and been confined to my apartment during the whole COVID thing. I really felt like my career there probably didn't have a whole lot of time to go, And so here I participate in a lot of different activities.
Well, you brought your piano with you, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Well, in fact, I have, excuse me, this piano, if you can see, oh, you can't because my name's in the way, but this is my office. I thought it was funny when Barney said he's still working. I work too, I just don't get paid. That's
But you're still making music, aren't you?
Well, I'm still doing stuff related to Gretchen's and my collaboration. And you talked about, many of you have said how DePaul changed your lives and was the foundation for everything that happened in your life. And of course, that is so true for me, because going to DePaul, meeting Gretchen there, getting involved in the theater activities there, that just set me on a path. And I never would have done the things I did if I'd gone to some other school. Yeah, I'm sorry you were, I have a electronic piano next to me here in my office that I use with my computer to do arrangements and printing of music. And then I have my grand piano in the living room. And
didn't you open your door? Didn't you have programs during COVID and open your door?
I did. Some of my neighbors used to say to me, why don't you leave your door open when you're playing the piano so we can hear you? And there wasn't any entertainment going on during COVID. The outside people who would come in weren't coming. We couldn't go to the assembly hall. So I started playing every night. And people they would bring their chairs and line up in the hallway outside.
Nice.
You could walk in the hallway during COVID, and they had to stay 6 feet apart. And that went on for a long time. I discovered recently that I had prepared 39 programs during the COVID period, because I would actually type up the program and leave the programs out in the hall. People could pick up and see what I was going to play. And so I didn't notice COVID. I was too busy. And I did that for myself. Definitely. It was a selfish thing to do because I was completely occupied during the whole COVID period.
Well, what a wonderful thing to do. Now, are you and Gretchen still working together on anything?
We haven't written anything new, but we're still involved with our former work. And I'll be going back to New York at the end of March for about 10 days, because there is a party to celebrate the release of a new album. that's
Yes,
been
I wanted
put
to
out
ask you
by-
about that.
This
Ah.
album was put out by Harbinger Records. They have a series called Hidden Treasures, and they have been hello. Hello.
Oh, there it is.
Who had that?
About that.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, whoever put that up. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, this is a 3-disc album. Some of their other albums for other composers have only been 1 or 2 discs, but Gretchen and I had so many lesser known works, because that's what all these albums are, lesser known works, that it required 3 albums for us. We have so much unknown work. But whether maybe the treasure should have remained hidden, I don't know. But this is a 3-disc album that just was released in January, and there's a theater in New York that's having a little party to celebrate it at the end of the month.
Well, congratulations. That's wonderful.
Yes. Well, and can we order that on Amazon or someplace? Because
yes, you can.
now this is
you
not
want
a
to.
commercial, everybody. This is just information.
I already
Okay?
wrote it down, Nancy, so we can order it.
Okay. Well,
Well,
it's
you know,
easy
I
to
think
find.
we heard a lot of that early music at our reunions.
Yes.
Some of the music you played, the song
yeah.
Changing, remember that one? I
One of the
remember that from our
reunions.
reunion.
Yes.
And sitting around on the floor of Rector Hall while you played and Gretchen sang. And now we would have a hard time getting up.
All right. Much less getting down.
Yes.
Well, we have a kitchen band out here. You all could be in that if you lived here. By the way, the name of the place I live is Friendship Village. I did not go to the place where my mother had lived because I did a tryout at both places for a weekend, and I decided this was a more vital place. And so now also I'm president of the Residents Association, and that's taking up a ton of time.
Oh my
And I
goodness.
write for the Villager newspaper, and so I really am doing a lot here. I don't have time to be bored.
That's
Oh.
great.
No.
That's good. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, are you
Truly
still
selfish.
composing? I mean,
I'm sorry, what?
I think when you came from New York, you probably brought your creativity with you. And I just wondered if you're still composing.
I really have not done any composing since I've been out here, really.
been too
I do a
busy?
lot of arranging for things like the kitchen band and for the sing-alongs
Okay.
and different things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
But music is still your life.
Yes, very much so. I mean, in some ways more so even than it was in New York.
Really.
Well, I would say Friendship Village is lucky to have you, Nancy.
I think so. And I think she is one of maybe not so hidden treasures of our class. Each one of you who's with us today is a hidden treasure. You've all contributed so much. I've just been sitting here listening to all the things you've done, and I am amazed and I'm thrilled that so many. I was hoping, I talked with Lori Hamilton earlier today, and I said, I'll be happy if 10 people are there. And
Yeah.
look, there's 33, 34.
Yeah.
So I think John Wittick was, it was the best
He did a
band
good job,
John
didn't he?
Wittick ever built.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we want to move on to Peg's tour because we've talked about individual change that Nancy has made. And thank you so much, Nancy, for sharing that with us. And now Peg is going to take us on a little tour of the campus the way it is now. It's changed a bit since we left it, mostly for the better.
Okay. All right. Now, wait a minute. Somebody said they were a Sigma Nu. Do you recognize this little house that says Robert G. Bottoms Alumni and Development?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then later it
Student
became the
Union.
Delta Zeta House. And now it's the Office of Alumni and Development. And if you were pre-med major, by the way, you would see the pillars from Mental Lab on the patio there.
Yeah, wow.
So we're moving on. panning over to, the building we recognize, East College, the oldest building on campus. And it's now the major entrance to DePaul, luckily, because before people had to find. And see the Hoover Gates right in the front here? That's opposite East College. Can you see that at the opposite end of okay, Anderson, good. Okay, now we're gonna pan down Anderson, and we're gonna see a few houses and names you'll recognize. And then we're coming to Rector Village, which is on the left side of Anderson as you go towards East College. This was built after Rector Hall was burned in 2002. And if you look now, on the left is Mason Hall, which was upperclassmen when we were there. On the right is Lucy Rowland, but now these are both housing mostly for sophomore students. In the center is the Ubben Quadrangle, which is a very nice way to combine this whole group here, so that if you're a student living in one of the halls here, you have a place to go out and play Frisbee or volleyball or whatever. Now we're going to move on to Bowman Park, which replaces Bowman Gym. And that's where we swam, played basketball, modern dance, and fenced, and where we registered every year when we were at DePaul. And then we're panning over the campus. You see there's a student union in the front, and here's Hoover Hall. They're side by side on the street, okay? And next to that, between that, here is Stewart Plaza. And that again is a central gathering place where the students, faculty, and staff can gather. And our class of 1957 actually used that plaza at our most recent reunion. And then we'll go back to Hoover Hall, which is a magnificent building. David and Suzanne Hoover Hall. It's the primary dining space for first-year students, upper class students in the university. And some of you have eaten here. I've eaten here, and it's unbelievable. It's so big. Okay, now as we look here at the campus with East College right here, look up to your left. It says Arroyo West. Do you remember that? The Arroyo West Library, which opened our senior year, and the Vice President Richard Nixon gave a speech. That was impressive, I thought. I didn't at that point. He, by the way, hadn't done some other things. I want you to bring that up, okay? And then the library has been recently. If you look at this, we're turning. The library has been recently renovated, and so on the left-hand side, there we go. See the Holton Memorial Quadrangle there? Okay, that was built recently in 2002. And on either side of that is Harrison Hall. Here's the library, and here's Asbury. Now Harrison is going to be renovated, and it will be the new site of DePaul School of Business and Leadership. Isn't that impressive? Yeah.
It is. Yes.
Okay. Then we're going to move on. Okay, now see this white building right here? That's where I had theater there, I think, but also art was taught there.
That was the library.
Yeah, that's right. And it was the library.
That's the old library.
That's right. And now this side of it is facing, you can't even see it, but the left-hand side of that is facing the Alumni Center. But on the right-hand side, it has some beautiful steps that overlook the big expanse of green lawn over to East College. It's really magnificent, I think. Okay, let's move on now to the Green Center for Performing Arts. And that houses Thompson Recital Hall, Morse Theater, Cafe Allegro, and Kresge Auditorium. And although it was built after we left DePaul, we've enjoyed a lot of events there in this building.
Right.
Okay, coming up is the Welch Fitness Center. This is unbelievable. Okay, it provides the primary training venue for DePaul's varsity teams and the campus community. Now wait till you see the inside of this. I mean, it's unbelievable. The facilities that DePaul students have now, because of so many alums who've helped make the school better, the physical school better. Now look, we're going to the natatorium. I remember the natatorium we had. Do you remember it? It was Bowman. Yeah, and it was very narrow and dark, I thought. this is so light. It just invites you to come in.
Nice. That's Olympic size.
Mhm.
Look at all the black.
It is like an Olympic Center, yeah. And all the different types of facilities they have there. I can't believe it.
Field house.
Okay, now we're moving towards some of the dorms. And the first thing we see is Jordan Hall. That was given to DePaul by our classmate, Vern Jordan. And it was completed in August 2020. It has 87 residence rooms. Each floor has a lounge, kitchenette, and TV with smaller study spaces in each wing. Okay, now we come to Hubbard Hall. And Hubbard Hall was named after the president when we were at DePaul. And it was now it's a large first-year residence built in 1989 and is the home to about 130 first-year students. And we go over to a hall that we remember, Longden Hall, because some of our classmates live there. And that is also next to Bishop Roberts. And this was our headquarters for several of our 5-year reunions. These two dorms house more than 150 first-year students. And they have such a nice facility. Although I loved Rector Hall, my freshman year, I thought it was wonderful.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
I did too. Okay. Now as we come out, we see all of these residence halls all together, which is kind of nice for the campus, I think, and maybe for the seniors to be over there. And then we're moving around and we're going to see pretty soon coming up. Okay, the Neal Fieldhouse backup. Okay, now we move over to the Peeler Art Center. And this opened its doors in 2002 with 3 spacious galleries hosting approximately 10 exhibitions annually. What they are doing, I don't know. This is the one I got, okay? But anyway, I think it must be very avant-garde, right? The next building is the Justin and Darien Christian Center for Diversity and Inclusion. And this is a central gathering place for many student organizations, including the Association of African American Students, AAAS, and the Dorothy Brown Cultural Resource Center. Pretty nice, don't you think?
Yes.
Very nice. Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, very comfortable. Now we're moving to DePauw's athletic complex, and it was completed in fall of 2014. Here we're coming up on Revis Stadium and the field, which is equipped with, get this, synthetic turf for men and women's soccer, and also synthetic turf for men's and women's lacrosse, and it hosts many DePauw contests. Yeah, you notice, ladies, I said in women's indoor tennis and track center. This opened in 2001. It includes 6 tennis courts, a 200-meter track,
Go find out.
batting cages for
We will
baseball
find
and softball, golf nets, and a putting green. And of course, we recognize over here Blackstock Stadium, where we cheered our Tigers on. Look above the Blackstock. See where it says, can you stop, Zeta? See where it says Blackstock Stadium on your screen, and up above that, you see these little white dots, kind of? You see that? Okay. This is where the Scott Hamilton Memorial Park, where our class gathered during one of our last on-campus reunions. Scott was the son of our Don Hamilton and his wife Lori, also a DeGroof grad. And as we gathered together and walked quietly the paths there, we held Lori and our classmate Don in our thoughts and prayers. And I've always thought of that, Don and Lori, so much, how meaningful it was to be there.
Thank you.
Now we're going to pan again over these various playing fields. We're coming to, as soon as the camera comes around, we're going to see built in 1982 Walker Field, which has many baseball contests there. Remember? Okay, good. All right. Then the next thing is fantastic. The Ulam Campus Farm and Center for Sustainability was completed and dedicated in May 2019. This farm produces farm-to-table items served in DePauw's DePauw's dining halls. Isn't that impressive? Wow. And then we've had several of our events here at the Janet Prindle Institute for Ethics. That was opened in 2007, and it continued DePaul's longstanding commitment to help students make a positive difference in our world. You remember, I think we had a reunion luncheon and a reunion dinner there. And now this is DePaul's Nature Park. This has an unusual history. Between 1917 and 1977, it was the site of a stone quarry owned by Nancy Aggregates. But the quarry had been dormant for decades. In 2004, the owners donated 200 acres to DePaul and leased the remaining 170 acres to the university for, get this, $1 per year for 99 years. Thus, DePaul's Nature Park grew to 520 acres and was open to the public in 2004. The many trails there are enjoyed by students, faculty, staff, as well as Greencastle citizens. Now, looking at this panorama of the campus with all these buildings, I hope you enjoy our video tour. As you can see, our alma mater has donated a number of campus buildings. In fact, I think I counted 19 and improved many facilities in the 66 years since we've graduated. DePaul, I want you to know, is grateful for all gifts, great or small, which have helped the university expand and continue to make the DePaul experience valuable. But as our classmate Vern Jordan says, we're not finished yet. Okay. I hope you'll join me and the university's many loyal alums in helping DePaul continue graduating young men and women ready to build a positive future for our world. I hope you enjoyed and felt very proud of your school.
Thank you, Peg. That was a great tour.
I have to tell you, it was so meaningful to me because last time I was on campus, which was just a year ago, I went with Sue Breckenridge, Sue DeCosta Breckenridge, for her niece's graduation. We were so lost. We were near East College. We were near the library. We knew all that. But when we got further away, we were completely lost. Okay. So I needed to see this video. And I wanted you to see how wonderful the university looks now. It's really terrific. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Peg. Yes. Does anyone have anything? Yes. Does anyone have anything they would like to add?
Can we get a copy of this so that we can show it in our home?
Yeah.
A copy of the map?
Of the video, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you
Yes.
probably can, because when I was trying to access it several times, when I went on to this thing, well, I can't remember what it's called. Oh, I guess it was through a Zoom. Anyway, there were various universities that had this sort of thing, but none of them were as good as ours, I didn't think. Anyway.
Yeah.
Peg, do you have a link you could send us? Do you have a
Yes,
link?
I can send a link.
Zeta would have it. Zeta would have it. Zeta,
Zeta, do you have a link you can
Yes,
send
yes,
us?
I can send you a link to that video, yes.
Great. Okay.
And the other thing I want to say is it couldn't have been done. None of this, including the tour for sure, had it not been for Zida. I mean,
Yes.
she worked
Yes.
so diligently
Yes.
with me to try to get me syncing my script with the video, which wasn't easy. Okay. So thank you, Zeta.
Yes, and for
Sure.
putting us all together. You did an amazing job. We are very, very grateful.
And
Yes.
did
So
you
glad
know,
you guys are
Certainly
enjoying
are.
it.
did you know she's a graduate of DePaul?
Yes.
And did you know that she's from Puerto Rico? And did you know that her older brother was also a graduate of DePaul? I mean, I was so impressed.
Well, thank
Oh.
you for,
Nancy.
thank you for an
Thank you,
amazing job.
everybody.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for
Yes.
coming on and all of you.
Nancy, could I ask you one more question?
Sure.
Nancy,
Just a
I-
minute. I gotta turn this off.
It's
My
Roger
brother
Fin-
calling me. I just
Oh,
disconnected
yeah.
my brother. Yeah.
it's Roger Finley. I couldn't get in at the beginning, but nobody has said what happened to, where's Gretchen? You're the other
I
half.
don't know. And I sent her a text message during this and said, did you not get the message about this? And I've forwarded to her
the way to get on, but I think she's probably in the middle of teaching. She teaches a lot. She still lives at 885 West End Avenue in New York City, the same apartment that she, David had years and years ago. I think she's probably lived there 60 years.
Oh, my.
Oh, wait, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Almost 60 years, 50, 55 years maybe. And she's very busy. She's very active. She's always been very active with the Dramatists Guild Foundation. She's continuing that work, and she teaches solo performance, which means people come to her who have a story they want to tell, and she helps them write it and then helps them perform it. And this is something that's happening all over the country, something called solo performances. And they're, you know, it's like a one-person show, like a memoir.
You know, Nancy, one time I was teaching in Brazil and I heard that Gretchen was going to be in Chicago with, I'm going to get my act together and take it on the road. So I flew back from Brazil and saw her do that show in Chicago, which I understand you kind of went back and forth. Who did it? Who led the show as it toured around the country? But anyway, after the show, she and I went out for a drink, and then I think I had lunch with both of you at one of the reunions. But you two are, you know, the stars, certainly the artistic stars of the class.
I should say, and please give Gretchen our love. Tell her we missed her.
I sure will. She and I just happened not to have discussed this. We've been very involved in preparing a program for this party that where sometimes when people say we want to honor you, it takes a lot of work to be honored. You've all experienced this, I'm sure. Anyway, so we've been working to get the actors together and figuring out what to do. And so we just didn't happen to mention this. And I don't know why we didn't, but I think maybe she couldn't have come on because of her teaching schedule.
Will you please somehow maybe get us more information about what you're doing in New York?
Oh, you mean this party?
The party?
Want to come?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. It's just, it's kind of a joint birthday party for the artistic director of the York Theater and to celebrate the launching of this album of ours. And some of the performers who are on the album are going to sing at the party. And we'll have wine and hors d'oeuvres. That's about it. Yeah. But thank you for inquiring.
Okay, well, I know you'll have a wonderful time. And congratulations again. That's great.
But before you get off, so if we wanted to have a copy of the brochure about the CDs that are coming out, is it possible that, Zaida, is it possible that you could either Xerox a copy, or anybody who wanted one could get in touch with you and you could send one, send an email with it? Is that possible?
Nancy, is it okay that I share that flyer that you shared with me, that I shared on the
Sure, I
screen?
mean,
Okay.
yeah, I mean.
No,
absolutely.
I don't think they could hear me when I was talking. Do you know anything about this? I think maybe the thing that was wrong is that I think it was on mute.
Okay.
And Zoom, I think, is this launch meeting? I don't know. Well, anyway, I should have, I tried to talk, but I don't think they heard me.
Okay.
Is
Yeah,
there?
this mute's okay, it looks like. Hit the little, no, not that one. The one
Dorothy,
next to it.
Look, I have.
Dorothy, we can hear you.
Is that Luann?
Lou, is there any way you can have somebody send us a list of our class that are
Okay, it's
still
up there, so.
Oh, I see.
walking
Let's
around?
see.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
I'll
With
ask
email
Zaida.
addresses?
Can they hear you
Yes,
now?
I'll ask
I don't know.
Zaida to
I
send
didn't, I
that part
talked,
to
but I
you.
don't think they heard me, but I don't think I'm going to say anything.
Okay.
So Nancy, can you end up by playing the DePaul song and we can all sing?
Yes. If you give me a minute, just stay on. Don't, because in true DePaul fashion,
Oh,
we
unmute.
cannot
Oh, I
close
see.
a reunion meeting without singing a toast to DePaul.
Okay.
So give me a minute here.
Crazy.
It won't work, I can tell you.
They should know that.
Let's-
All right.
well, hold on, because there we go.
The only way it'll work is if everybody mutes.
That's
And
right.
then you just
Correct.
sing by yourselves.
Well, hold on just a
Correct.
minute.
That is correct. That is-
Snyder, don't we have a choral version of this?
Well, hold on, I had a system issue. Give me a few minutes.
Okay, that way we can sing quietly and listen to the choir at the same time.
Yes, but I had a system glitch, so just a
That
minute.
was my idea.
And I'll get this started again. I had it all set up.
You're wonderful,
You
Zaida.
are
Yeah.
amazing.
Almost over.
Now, words and music. Did Vivian Bard write both?
I don't know.
You're right.
Well, the music is in our memory bank somewhere along.
Yeah.
It is Dale. It is Dale, but I wonder who wrote the music. It's a beautiful song. Yeah.
Nancy wrote it, didn't she?
Thanks to everyone for
Let's
arranging this time,
Let's sing. Let's sing.
reviving
Okay,
those
now
old
everybody
memories.
needs to do the toast.
Nancy, give us a starting note.
There you go.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Now we
I'm
can't-
sorry, everybody, but that won't work. You
Yeah,
can't all sing. Thank you, Dale. It just won't work. The only way it would work is if you play a recording and everybody mutes themselves. So you sing along with the recording all by yourself. If there's
Yeah.
a choir singing, you'll hear them and you'll sing with them.
so Zaida, you don't have a recording of it there.
Yeah,
No.
I
I'm
thought you had
sorry.
played that for us one time.
Hang on. Let me see if I've got.
Just play it. You use
Uh,
the piano and
Okay,
learn how
but
to
you
play it.
just remember, Zaida, were you going to use that recording that I sent you? Or did you find another one?
I thought I was using your recording.
Oh, well, I think I can play it. Let me try it and then I'll see if you can hear this.
Okay. Everybody needs to mute themselves.
Well,
Right.
wait, just,
I'm not
can you
singing.
hear that?
Yes.
We heard the opening, then it stopped.
Okay, yes, I stopped it to ask you if you could hear it. I will. If
So are
if
we
there's
really
a
not allowed
words-
to sing?
What?
Are we not allowed to sing?
You're allowed to sing as long as, you're allowed to sing as long as you mute yourself.
Okay.
You can't sing along and have anybody else hear you because you won't be with the recording.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, do you want me to start it again?
Yeah.
And we're supposed to mute ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if you want to sing, you don't have to
Sure.
mute yourself unless you're going to sing. Okay, here goes.
Let every
right, that was great, you guys. Thank you.